When we think of ninjas in anime, we immediately think of Naruto. And Naruto is a great anime that has shown why it deserves to be in the big three. Through its vast and intricate storytelling, the characters go deep into the tapestry of teamwork and determination while accomplishing great feats that make it beautiful and awe-inspiring. But this isn't Naruto. If you haven't heard, there's been word on the street that there's a new anime out called Ninja Kamui, and one of the producers behind it is. And if you know anything about Adult Swim, you know that they have a few bangers when it comes to the Western anime. When you first start the episode, you get introduced to this guy who's sweating profusely and is seen running into a narrow alley. And well, this guy gets surrounded by a bunch of assassins, but in the first few seconds, he was cooking. This man was putting up all the stops, dodging, throwing knives, severing heads, and pretty much spamming every single move he had in his arsenal. And upon viewing this scene, I was like, this guy must be the main character. Let him cook. But not even a second later, a guy who literally looks like Adam Smasher pulls up and immediately kills him off. Bro was not the main character. And now we are introduced to a jolly looking family, and throughout this episode, the supposed mother, father, and son were just appreciating every moment they had, fixing the motorcycle, going out shopping, and even holding a birthday party for their son. While all of this is happening, I'm still wondering, who is the main character? Is it this guy? Is it her? Or is it even this little kid? It's like I'm playing a game of Among Us, but instead of finding the imposter, I'm finding the main character. And also, are we just gonna ignore the fact that we just had a man fight for his life for nothing? But at the same time, there was something odd. I mean, things were looking too perfect. Remember when I mentioned they were going shopping? Well, if you watch again, Joe was cleaning the handle of the mall entrance, and you gotta be some type of psychopath to do this meticulous work. And they even mentioned that they would be fine after hearing the incidents of people dying on the news. If that doesn't smell bad news for you, then I don't know what is. After they finish up their son's birthday, they go to bed, but the man's spidey senses were tingling and told his wife that everything would be okay. It was not okay. The assassins pulled up like SEAL Team 6, but Joe started putting in the work. However, things go immediately astray as he hears his son screaming for help. This makes him panic, and the assassins notices that and immediately strikes him with some needles to his neck. He tries his best to reach the bedroom, which he did, only to see his wife and son dead on the ground. And you gotta be thinking, what is happening? These are just getting killed left and right, and guess who's there? This brolic dude was in his bag dealing the final blows and finishing his family off with a pipe going through the wipes while the man slowly dies. And it looks like this was the end for the family. Psych! This man wakes up from what is supposed to be his impending death. And not only does he come back alive, he starts going on a massacre leaving no witnesses. And I mean, if he can come back to life, what's stopping Gojo from doing the same? This girl, who was supposed to spy on him, gets knocked out and this man straight up goes on a killing spree. He even comes across Adam Smasher and gets his get back. But before he could finish him off, we see Joe's real face. In actuality, man was the imposter straight from the beginning. The aftermath is him leaving his home and what he cherished to get revenge for his family. Everything about this first episode was amazing. We didn't just get 1, 2, or 3, but 4 fight scenes, and all the fights weren't mediocre. Everything about the camera movement, the dark atmospheric tone, and the choreography was spot on. You can understand how brutal the fights were and how meaningful they are. Also, the music was impeccable, and the people who worked on the music deserve every praise because every moment in the episode made me more invested and emotional. Now, after watching the first episode, the idea of what the story will be about is pretty obvious. Man happy, man loses happiness, man goes on a revenge. And at the surface level, it's pretty generic, something 13-year-old me who's going through a phase would write. But there's still this added mystery to it. Who are these ninjas? Were they a cult? Or who created this tech? And what exactly is happening around the world? As you start watching the anime, more and more of those pieces start to show and we get to see the government's involvement and how the so-called ninja clan is going to keep pursuing this MC. Although if we have to be real right now, there's still more that needs to be shown to put up a good story, but does that really matter? If you are like me, who would just turn their brains on for the fight, then I wouldn't be mad. Because in all honesty, there have been many animes that have gone so far to make a story interesting but fall flat and they try to make up for it with some action. Animation in general tends to be viewed highly by the public, where a show with super high quality animation looks visually appealing but it's not meaningful. I'm not trying to say that Ninja Kamui is not visually appealing, but having good animation throughout will look more beautiful than seeing 4 seconds of impact frames. Just look at One Piece. They recently changed their art style to focus on the animation more than the quality, making things more fluid. So if you're just looking for an anime that is straight up filled with action, then I recommend watching Ninja Kamui. Or you can watch Solo Leveling.